When we speak of solutions, this is a classification of mixture where only one phase can be seen. So that means, yung mga individual components or yung kung ano yung nagkakreate doon sa solution, hindi mo sila kayang i-distinguish using your eyes alone. So, solutions are composed of the solute plus the solvent. What are the difference of the two? Let's find out with this slide. Now, when we speak of solutes, this is the substance that is dissolved to make a solution. So that is our definition in general. However, the specific definition is, it is one of the components of a solution with the lesser amount. When we say solvent, this is the substance that dissolves the solute. Again, that is the general description or the general definition. The specific definition is, it is the component of the solution with the greater amount. So when the solute is dissolved in the solvent, it is not possible to identify the solute and solvent as individual parts kasi na thoroughly mix ang ating solute sa solvent. An example of this is adding salt with water. If you're going to add salt in water, then that means if you try to identify the components of the solution, mahihirapan ka using your unaided eye. Now let us have an example. Meron kang alcohol na 100 ml at ang nakalagay sa description ay it is composed of 70% isopropyl alcohol. So, alin doon ang solute at alin doon ang solvent? Of course, ang solute natin doon ay yung water. Bakit? Kasi 70% yung isopropyl alcohol doon. So that means the remaining 30% ay yung water. Since mas mababa ang amount or ang value ng ating water, then that means it is a solute. Whereas the solvent ay ang ating alcohol since it is 70%. Here are some examples of solutes and solvents. Number 1, salt water, wherein the solute is a salt and the solvent is water. Next, we have the blood, wherein the solutes are the calcium ions and the sugar, and the solvent is water. There are different types of solutions. That is because it could be made from solids, liquids, or gases. An example of a gaseous solution is the air, since it is composed of many different gases and yet we cannot identify each of the component of the air particles. Ang atmosphere natin, it is composed of 72% nitrogen, 21% oxygen, and 1% others. And yet, we cannot identify using our eyes alone kung alin sa mga particles ng air ang nitrogen at ang oxygen at yung mga other gases. Next is humidity. So when we speak of humidity, it is the amount of water that is dissolved in the air. Ito yung dahilan kung bakit feeling natin ang lagkit-lagkit ng hangin sa balat natin because of the water particles that is present in the air. The solute is the liquid or the water. The solvent is the gas. Next, solid solution, stainless steel, wherein the solute is the chromium metal and that the solvent is iron. That is because the chromium metal and the iron are melted in order for them to be combined. Now, there are cases na kung saan kapag nag-add tayo ng mga substances with each other, kapag naglalagay tayo ng mga other substances sa tubig, hindi sila nadidissolve. That is because there are instances na may mga bagay talaga na hindi nadidissolve sa tubig. Now, what accounts to this is the polarity of the substances sa pinaghahalo mo. Now, when we say polarity, ito yung pagkakaroon ng mga charges, whether it be full charge, like mga ions, kagaya na na-discuss natin dati, or partial charges, kagaya ng mga sinabi natin sa covalent bonding na meron tayong mga partial charges sa polar covalent bond. Now, kapag ang ating substance na tagatunaw, for example water, ay may partial charge, ibig sabihin, mga may charges or may mga may partial charges lang din ang kaya niyang i-dissolve. So for example, NaCl or sodium chloride. Kapag ang NaCl ay na-dissolve sa water, yung Na at yung Cl ay maghihiwalay so magkakaroon sila ng full charges. So since meron silang full charges, they will be dissolved
easily sa water kasi meron siyang partial charge. Paano naman yung mga non-polar substances? Ano yung mga pwedeng ma-dissolve ng mga non-polar substances kagaya ng gasoline? So sa gasoline, isa siyang non-polar substance. So ang pwede nilang i-dissolve ay yung mga non-polar substances din. For example, mantika or oil. Oil is a non-polar substance. Paano natin nalaman na non-polar? That is because oil is composed of organic substances. So marami siyang C at H na bond, kaya non-polar siya. So since it is non-polar at ang kerosene natin or gasoline natin ay also non-polar, that means i-expect natin na pwede nating i-mix ang oil at ang kerosene or gasoline. Paano naman kapag yung oil and water? So oil is a non-polar substance, water is a polar substance. So dahil magkaiba sila, hindi sila magkaparehong polar or hindi sila magkaparehong non-polar, hindi sila pwedeng mag-mix. So they will not be able to combine. Yun yung, doon na papasok yung tinatawag natin na like dissolves like. Only polar substances can be dissolved in polar solvent. Only non-polar substances can be dissolved in non-polar solvents. Hindi pwede na magkaroon ng exchange na yung polar ay halo sa non-polar, yung non-polar ay halo sa polar. So that is what we mean by polarity. So, kapag nag-mix sila, ibig sabihin, the substances are soluble. Kapag solid, tapos liquid yung pinaghahalo natin. Kapag parehong liquid, kagaya ng oil and water, kapag hindi sila naghalo, ang tawag doon ay immiscible. Pero pag parehong liquid tapos nag-mix, ang tawag doon ay miscible. Miscible is M-I-S-C-I-B-L-E. So, miscible. Pag nagsama at parehong liquid, miscible. Pag parehong liquid, hindi nagsama, immiscible. Pag solid yung isa, tapos hindi sila nagsama, insoluble. Pag solid yung isa at nag-combine sila, we call that soluble. So that's it for our discussion for COR009, module number 9.